Well, good morning, everyone. And once again, welcome to another live this morning. Hope you're having a great start to your day. Today is going to be an important podcast. Well, they're all important, in my opinion. Nativity, you're numero uno this morning. Good to have you on. Brahim, number 2. Eileen, number 3. Mike, from Norland, 4. Nativity, 5. Sandra, 6. Gracie, how are you? Kevin, my top 10 to come in fast. Joss, Sturgeon Falls. Holly, good morning to you. Jeanette, and Yolande, nice to see you. April, how are you? Madeleine, good morning to you. And Julie Sturgeon, good morning. Say hi to your mom. Nick, how are you? Lilani, I hope I said that right. Very nice. Donna, Maria, Helena, and Francis, Marie, and Wendy, and Bernice, and Anne. And the sun is shining in Moncton, New Brunswick. Yvette, Nellie, Donna, how are you? David, Vera, thanks for coming on. Frank, good morning, Frank. How are you? Carol, Marin, and Jeanette, nice to have you on. Yeah, thanks for, a new great-grandson, Deb. So Tony Jr., if you didn't hear yesterday, is a grandfather. Yep, Donna. And another Donna. Hi, Donnas. Hi, Donnas. And Brenda and Mary Jean from Connecticut. Joanne, you guys are great. We thank you for coming on. Sherry baby from Cape Breton. Good morning, Jeanette. Susie, Julie, couple more, then we'll get going. Nice to have you on this morning. Carol and Céline, bonjour. Len and Judy from Edmonton, good morning. Nice to have you on. Brenda from Campbell River, British Columbia. Rita, Carol, Newfoundland. Sandra, Brampton. Tasha. Okay, Judy. Good morning. Okay, Rosalinda, here we go. Okay, now, guys, this is going to be all review, but I think it's really important because I was thinking about this yesterday. How do you get into not the top 10%? Now listen, one thing we know, study after study has confirmed that 88% of the population, 88, are metabolically unwell. 88. That means 12% only of the population don't have metabolic syndrome. Only 12%. 88% of the population have some form of metabolic syndrome, which you and I know is at the root of every chronic disease. Cancer, cardio, Alzheimer's, diabetes, obviously, and a big part of autoimmune. You name the chronic disease, and there's an attachment to metabolic syndrome, and metabolic syndrome is food. Okay? So there's your foundation. But I want to encourage you this morning, to my peeps out there, you guys. I believe this with all my heart. Not only that top 10%. Do you want to get into the top 1% of the population? Some of you already are. Maybe most of you already are. Top 1% of the population. And I don't care how old you are. Age has nothing to do with it. You want to beat 99% of the population. I am going to give you 7 things that maybe you're already doing. And if not, I want to encourage you. Obviously, the first one is avoiding. We talked about this yesterday, and I'll talk about it till the cows come home. Literally. Elimination and addition. Subtraction and multiplication. You're going to subtract in food, and then you're going to go forth and multiply in another food. Now, you know me. I'm consistent. I say it every day. I will say it all the time. Number one, get rid of crap. C-R-A-P. Like, quit eating it. And what is crap? Sugar. Avoid like the plague. Seed oils. Anything in the middle aisles of your grocery store. And a lot of keto products too, by the way. Have a lot of, there's a lot of bad oils in that stuff. Read your labels. Get rid of it. Get rid of sugar. Oh, lots of good things will happen if you just get rid of sugar. 2, get rid of crappy oils, crappy carbohydrates. That comes down and this goes up. Number 2, eat from the animal kingdom. Eggs. You like eggs? Have 100 a week. It don't matter. The more the merrier. Meat. Oh, I could, and I will try and convince you that you were meant to eat from the animal kingdom. It's the king of the castle. Animal protein, animal fat is superior. It's more bioavailable. It has more vitamins. It has more minerals. It has more amino acids than any other food you can eat. Eggs, meat, and cheese. Okay? If you want to be in the top 1%, it's not a matter of, just getting rid of sugar. Wonderful. I'm just going to cut down on carbohydrates. Wonderful. It is. But you want to get to the top 1% in your health? Then you need to subtract and multiply. It's because again and again and again, you need to change fuels. It's not enough to get into that high percentage if you're just cutting back on carbs and sugars. It's wonderful, but it's not ideal. Do you know what I'm saying by that? Because you need fuel. You need fuel. And you want to give your mitochondria, your battery packs, within every cell of your body, you want to give them superior octane. You want to give them 99% octane, jet fuel. You want to get to that 1%, and I mean it. I mean it. Eliminate, add, change fuels. People don't understand that. They're so used to, in their head, okay? I'm talking about medical people. They're so used to a balanced diet. It's been drummed in, drummed in, drummed in. You're diabetic, you need balance. If you don't have any carbs, you're gonna die. It's been drummed in as long as I've been alive, guys. And that's a lot of years. And especially when I graduated. I hear it every day, every day. A lady sent me an email this morning, or at least I read it from one of my staff, and she said, I'm gonna do the reset against my naturopath's best wishes. I said, well, I love your naturopath. I've never met her. I think it was her. But they're wrong. They're wrong. Because they just can't get past plants as being superior to animal products. They can't get past it because they've been trained like that. I told you my story. Because it doesn't matter what nutrition course you take, and I mean it, unless you take mine. And I promise one day to certify you. Okay? No, but listen, I don't care. You're going to be told 99% of the time that the plant kingdom is better than the animal kingdom for you. You know, even for people that say have some meat or whatever, and you can have a few eggs or whatever, they'll always tell you the plant kingdom is better. Guys, I'm going to tell you, in clinical nutrition, I always tell this to people. Hey, listen, I was in practice for 40-something years. And I'm going to tell you something. The animal kingdom, and I could prove it, with all the biomarker testing that I did, is superior to the plant kingdom. Does that make plants no good? Nope. But it sure makes animal kingdom numero uno. It's number one on the food chain is animal products. You need it. It's cholesterol's in there, and you need cholesterol. There's no cholesterol in plants. That ought to settle it right there. That ought to settle the argument right there. That's what I tell people. Do you have a gallbladder? Yes. Well, a lion has a gallbladder. A wolf has a gallbladder. And you got a gallbladder. Why do you think that is? I don't know. Why would I have a gallbladder? Well, why doesn't a cow have a gallbladder? They don't. Why doesn't a rabbit have a gallbladder? Oh, they don't. Because they don't eat cholesterol. But you do. Well, you should. So don't buy it, guys. Your anatomy is different. You're a lion. Okay? No, but seriously, guys, I'm telling you. Okay? I want you to be in the top 1%. So you downward trend, eliminate it if you can, but I mean downward trend. Get rid of crap. Get rid of carbs and get rid of sugars. You'll be in the top 1%. You better do that. Because if you don't do that, you won't be in the top 1%. You're not going to get there. Because you're in the 88%. Look around, guys. Look around. Be observant. And give yourself a pat on the back already if you're in the 12% that are metabolically healthy. Give yourself a pat on the back. Because people ask me this all the time. Doc, how can I prevent? That's what we're into on this program. We're not into, look, you're sick. You ask me what to do. I'm on your side. I'll show you everything that I know. But at the end of the day, I'm trying to stop or prevent disease from coming. Guys, out of this last 2 years, if there's anything that should drive you insane, and it certainly did with me, is how little we talked about keeping people healthy. That if you get a virus, and you will, if you get a virus, and you will, you get a bacteria, and you will, 100%, unless you're planning on I don't know, head with Elon Musk. The next time he wants to take a trip in one of his spaceships, well, maybe put your hand up and, I don't want to get, I don't want to get sick. I never want to have another virus or bacteria. Maybe if I head up to the moon or to Mars or wherever he's heading, take a trip, but good luck. You're not going to get rid of every virus in the universe. It's impossible. But you got a beautiful, wonderfully made immune system. Supercharge it. And numero uno, to get into that 1%, you better start with food. Eliminate, add. Eliminate, add. Not enough to eliminate. You need to add. I'm talking about getting into the 1%. I want you in the 1%. Shoot for that. Shoot for the top. Okay? Number 2. We talked about food. Okay. Actually, 1 and 2. Okay, so 1 down, the other up. Okay, we got that, right? We got that. Number 3. Viderma. Study after study after study after study, 200 or more, 300 or more. It seems every day, there's a new study on the benefits of vitamin D. If you are low in vitamin D, you're in doo-doo. You'll never get to the 1%. You'll never get to the 1% without vitamin D. Now, Viderma is the best. Okay? What do I mean by that? Sun. The sun. I know, Doc, it's the middle of winter. I know. That's why you need the other vitamin D. Not the Viderma, but the supplement of vitamin D. I'm telling you, it is so conclusive. I don't know if there's anything that has been as conclusive and yet still dismissed by mainstream medicine as vitamin D. There's no money in it. It's so hard to convince people that don't want to be convinced. I was telling someone the other day, a doctor actually, I said, do you want me to send you 150 studies on vitamin D? stay out of the sun, and then you're going to get bad. Listen, you eat bad, I'm going to tell you something. I'll give you a little trick, and a lot of my patients found this out. It's amazing how much more sun you can get when you eat well. Yep. And I explain this in the reset. Once you lower your sugars, especially and crappy carbs, you know what happens? You decrease your AGE, small s. Big word. Let me give you a big word. Big words. Glycation end products. Ooh, I hate medicine for big words. You know what glycation is? It's a form of rusting out. It takes the elasticity out of your skin, the elasticity out of your ligaments and your tendons. It takes the elasticity out of your joints. It's called glycation. It's a food problem, especially sugar. You want to have nice skin? You better start with your diet. Inside out. And then you can get more sun. It's amazing. People that burn quickly, usually, okay? They're bad eaters. They're carboholics. They're sugarholics. And they wonder why their skin burns. Anyway, that's just an aside. So you need vitamin D. I know you're convinced. I don't have to convince you. But I mean it. You can't be in the 1% without Viderma. We talked about it. What it does for your immune system. Your Navy SEALs, your T cells, they have antennas for vitamin D. Supercharge your immune system. It's in the middle of winter and you can't go out in short sleeves and shorts. Okay. Well, then you supplement during that time. And I mean it. It's really important to do that. Okay? Was that number 3? Stop eating crap. Eat eggs, meat, and cheese. Get Viderma. 4, lift weights. Get strong. Doc, I'm 80. I don't care. You can get stronger. You can't get into the 1%. I love walking too. I walk. Ask anybody that knows me. I'm a walker, man. I love walking. But you gotta get strong. You need bins. You need, look, even ladies, the treadmill. Okay, the treadmill. You're not a mouse. Running on a treadmill, or a hamster on a treadmill. Okay, you're not a hamster. No, look, you can do that if you want, but you don't miss out on doing weights. Now, you don't have to spend a lot of money, and you don't even have to go to a gym. If you want to go to a gym, good for you. Okay? Good for you. I love bands too. Okay? And get strong. Muscles. It'll put you in the 1%. Get strong. Can you get off the floor if you were lying down? Lay down flat on the floor and try and get up. Can you do that? It's not easy when you get older or if you got injuries or whatever. We know that. But it's amazing the connection between strength and your health. Now, it's not everything, but it's important. And you can't out-exercise a bad diet. So don't fool yourself about that. I was reading the other day, the guy was built like a mountain man and died when he was 50. One of the strongest guys on the planet, it looked like. Yeah, but metabolically, I didn't see his diet. I didn't see his vitamin D levels. I don't know. But he was strong. Yeah, well, that's important, but it's not the most important thing. Food is the foundation, guys. It's the foundation. And taking vitamin D and you're a bad eater, not going to undo that bad eating. Get sleep. I've done a lot of podcasts on sleep, the importance of it. Cortisol is high, you don't sleep. And when you don't sleep, your cortisol is high. That is a real factor in health. It is an accelerant to inflammation. You got to sleep. You got to sleep. Do everything you can to get a good sleep. Okay? That's important. Drink coffee. Did you guys know I was going to say that? That it was going to be part of my list? I text somebody the other day. It's kind of funny. Because they were talking negative about coffee. I won't allow that. Now, guys, I don't know if I was the first. I'll tell you of any guru that I've ever met. Okay? Remember, I've been around a long time, guys. I've been doing seminars all over the world for a long time. Started writing books, 30-something years ago. And, those books brought me around the world. From China to Europe, all over North America. Every major city in the USA I visited just about, and radio show, coast to coast. And you know what, guys? There's been very few. When you go back 20, 30, 40 years, coffee's bad for you because coffee's acidic. And I used to tell people, I said, they didn't listen to me. Coffee's very good for you. It's the real vitamin C. It has over 1,000 phytonutrients in coffee. And they would look at me like I had two heads. And I'm not kidding you guys, because if you lived in the 70s, coffee was no good for you. Now, people drank coffee, of course they did. But they were told, it's going to make you dehydrated. It's not good for you. It's very acidic. I heard it all. It's cancer and everything. It was wrong, guys. That wasn't true. Drink coffee. Not tea. Yeah. I know some of you that I love you anyways, okay? You don't like coffee. I feel sorry for you. I feel sorry for you. Okay? I mean it. Coffee. It's part of being 1%. from helping almost every cancer you can think of, from pancreatic. It works like the drug metformin. What's better for you, metformin or coffee? Coffee. Have it with a meal. Amazing what it does to your blood sugars and your insulin response. I'm not kidding you. Lowers your risk of almost every type of cancer. There's a new book out. Dr. Pearl Muter. Okay, I don't know if you've heard of him. The grain brain, and a couple of others. And he's talking, he's got a new one on uric acid. Okay? And he says the best way to reduce uric acid is to drink coffee. Now, don't put sugar in it. Coffee. I agree with him, by the way. Okay? Now, the other one. You want to be in the top 1%. This has to do with drinking. Of course, you eliminate all sugar. Don't drink any juice. No orange juice. No apple juice. No juice. Don't drink juice. Goes right to your liver, make fatty liver in a nanosecond. Stop. No sugar. No fructose. Don't drink it. God wanted you to eat fruit, not drink it. Okay? Now here's another thing you need to drink. It's funny, I put coffee before I put water. Vitamin W. Water. You need H2O if you want to be in the top 1%. Do you know where the most bioavailable salts are? Like magnesium, potassium. We always talk about magnesium, it's very important, I love it. I love potassium, you need it. One of the best bioavailable ways to get it is to drink spring water. If you want to know why Dr. Martin drinks spring water, is for that reason, because of the bioavailability of the salts in water. You need water, your body can't live without water, and it's not like you're going to croak right away when you get dehydrated, but it's very dangerous, and the vast majority of people, listen to what I'm saying, when they're in that 88% metabolically unwell and they are dehydrated. They're dehydrated. It's a common thing. Cancer, dehydration. Heart disease, dehydration. Kidney disease, dehydration. Look, there's other things, but I'm telling you, it's what I used to see in the office every stinking day. Was dehydration when people didn't think, Doc, I'm not thirsty. I don't care. What's it got to do with anything? Thirsty. Dr. Martin, men. Dr. Martin, I hate water. Again, can I drink? No, suck it up, buttercup. You need water. Your planet Earth, 75% of planet Earth is water. True or false? True. Well, so's your body. You need water. You got 60,000 miles of blood vessels. 1.5 times around the equator. Guess what it needs to move the ocean? The blood through those blood vessels. Water, not juice, not soda. Water. Only water is water. And the best water is spring water, mineral water. If you're going to use a filter to take out your garbage out of your water, add salt, please. Add a little pinch of Himalayan salt to your water and drink it. The pH, pH, yeah, pH, okay. But water, there's nothing that'll help your pH like water. You want to become acidic? Eat sugar and don't drink enough water. You need 2 liters a day. Americans, 64 ounces. Every day, 7 days a week. You sweat, you need more. How did I determine that? 40-something years of practice. And looking at viscosity. Measuring it. You can't get in the 1% if you don't like water. You'll like it. That's one of the reasons for the reset. Why is it a month long, Doc? Well, first of all, I'm getting rid of insulin resistance. It takes a month. But you're forming habits. One of them is, on the reset, what are you drinking? Water and coffee. Drinking anything else, guys, can I say this, please? I went down the other day in the grocery store, in the water aisle. There was everything in there just about except water. Like there was, this kind of water and that kind of water, and there was, soda. This is in the water aisle. The drinking aisle. Juices and blah, blah, blah. And I said, man, this is so stupid. People are getting sucked in, because medicine, they can't change their mind. As long as you're drinking, drink fluids. You get a cold, drink fluids. Ooh, makes me have a headache. No, you drink water. H2O. Can't be healthy without it. You can't be in the 1%, that's for sure. Okay, did I miss anything? Oh yeah, one more. Laugh. I didn't really put that in there, but I'm just putting it in there now. Laugh, guys. Okay? Laughter, the Bible says it. Laughter is merry medicine. Laugh at yourself a little bit, okay? I find the older I get, the funnier I am, because I'm so, not funny to you, but funny to me. I go, oh my. I'm crazier than 2 hoot owls. Okay? But you better laugh. It's merry medicine. Very good for your heart. Sadness dries up your bones, but laughter is merry medicine. Okay. So did you get the list? Okay. I do laugh a lot. Okay. Guys, thanks for putting up with the rants, okay? You guys will get special rewards for putting up with me every day. Okay, but I'm dead serious about getting into that 1%. Strive, guys. Strive. Take some discipline. I know a lot of you are already there. Good for you. It's worth it. It's worth it. I'm not trying to get you to live to, oh, by the way, I'm not trying to get you to live to 100. You know that? That's not my goal. Never was, never will be. Okay? That's not my goal. My goal is to make you healthy for as long as you possibly can. We're all going to age. We're all going to die. That is just a fact of life, right? So when people tell you you're going to avoid death, well, good luck with that one. But you want to be healthy. You want quality of life. And I really, really, really want you to aim for the top 1% of this world. You can get there with that list, and I mean it. Okay. Okay? That was part of my workout. Now, Friday is question and answer Friday, so remember that. Send your questions, and we appreciate those questions, okay? It's always fun. And what else? Nothing else except if you're not a member of the private Facebook group, how come? Did you get our email today? Okay? The email was sent out. If you don't get it, check your email box to make sure it's not in your spam or whatever. But if you don't get that, would you please sign up at martinclinic.com? Make sure you get our email, because we put a lot of work into those emails, and they're always beneficial. Extra education. Okay? Extra education. So sign up for the emails. Okay. Guys, I love you. And I mean it. Talk to you soon.